Okay. Let us turn to page 3 of the prayer book. Page 3. Okay, residents, those who do not have the book, The Blaze of Non-Dual Bodhicittas. Okay, it should be on page 3. Page 3. Page 3.
Old one. There are two sets of books. It's the same.
Basically is enthused with great compassion. What's that? Page number? 3? No, it's just on the first page. Enthused with great compassion. Older version, new one?
Yes.
All page 3. Okay, so let us turn to page 3. All on page 3. Okay.
Dedication page.
Setting a proper motivation. So basically the idea is that so when we engaged in activities, particularly something virtuous, to see how much benefit that we accrue out of this, the virtue, depends on two things, which the great Tibetan masters talk about: the two activities, the two deeds. One, at the beginning, and the other in the end. In the beginning, setting a proper motivation. Then in the end, dedicating the virtues properly. So these two things are considered very important. So given that the diploma course, we are doing the second batch now. It is more like the inauguration or the opening session. So let us make it a point that we do the proper setting of the motivation initially. For that matter, 3 things to keep in mind. And with this, so basically what we are doing here is we're learning something. We're learning, including myself, we learn something that whatever virtue that we do, whatever meditations that we do in your own respective rooms, house, there, just see that that is done with the initial setting of motivation and the end dedication to virtues properly. So for the motivation setting, there are 3 things to keep in mind, which is so important. One is to seek inspirations and blessings from the enlightened beings. Particularly the beings who are a source of inspiration to you in terms of seeking compassion, in terms of learning wisdom. So these 2 things are very important: to learn wisdom, and whosoever you see as a source of inspiration for you to learn wisdom from, and whosoever you see as a source of inspiration to learn the compassion from, we seek them as the refuge field. For example, like Buddha Shakyamuni, then His Holiness the Dalai Lama, then for example Jesus Christ, then the Mahavir, and all these enlightened beings. You can think of these enlightened beings. Whoever you see as your inspiration, you can visualize them in front of you. There's one. And then as a part of the visualization, the next part is how you do the visualization. Number 1 is within one, what to visualize, how to visualize. What to visualize is the source of the inspirations, and how to visualize them. This is very important, is to visualize these beings. They have full of compassion, full of wisdom, and no matter what we do, no matter however mischievous we are, these enlightened beings, they are to embrace us with so much love, care, attention. The way, the manner in which, a child, a very mischievous, naughty child, however mischievous the child is, the mother is always there to embrace the child. And imagine that the neighbors, they come to abuse you, they come to insult you, but your mother is always there to defend you. This is how we should see all these enlightened beings, to give full of an affection to you. This is how we should visualize them. This is number one. Then number two is both each other field. Visualize your two parents on the two sides. Visualize all all your family members, like including children, everyone around you, and all sentient beings living on the side, human beings, animals, insects, the god and goddesses, the spirits, the hungry ghosts, then health beings, all the beings living on the side. At least in a visualization, we visualize all of them around us, and that's very important. And then particularly, let's say that should you have difficulty with your parents, ideally speaking, in the Asian culture, like India, Tibet, Chinese, Japan, generally speaking, we see that the relationship between the children and parents is much better, generally speaking. It's not that the Westerners, they are not good and the Asians are superior. This is not the point. It's about the culture. And then nowadays, unfortunately, even within Asia, we see that the more the educated, and I'm not just saying this, and see whether what I'm saying is true. Just look around your environment and see that the more the educated within the Tibetans or the Indians, more the educated, the families, then the conflict between the parents and the children is more. This is the reality. Whereas the less educated, the conflict is much less. The children, they are more obedient, and the parents and the children, they have a sense of, gratitude, the gratefulness towards the parents, which is so the prominent in the Asian culture. But nowadays, with the modern education coming in, and the rift between parents and children is also happening now, unfortunately. Now, this class, not in the diploma course and not in the master's course, you will see that this is going to be like a breakthrough, like a revolution. That, okay, I see that this culture, the culture of the love and affection between parents and children, is so important, and this is something that I have to revive. And the modern education, it has good sides and a bad side. The bad side is that the lack of the gratitude that builds up. Whereas you take the best of the modern education, take the best of the ancient wisdom. So if you can take that, then you will be an exemplar where you can really shine in the modern education. Meanwhile, you can display your qualities of compassion, your qualities of the love, affection, gratitude, and so forth. So when that is happening, then people see that, okay, very educated doesn't mean that I should be angry towards my parents. Very educated doesn't mean that I should not be grateful to my parents. Look at this person, look at this girl, look at this boy. So his or her knowledge is far better than mine. And meanwhile, having so much of love, affection, care towards parents, so that person is my role model. That is so important, so important. And I'm very happy to inform you that the first batch, not the diploma course, the participants amongst them who had some difficulty with their parents initially, and after attending the course, with the say with the extent of like within the extent of like 1.5 years time, then their thinking really changed, and then they started to embrace their parents. And when we were so young, when we were like age, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we are so vulnerable, we are so dependent on parents, and parents give us so much love and affection that when we grow like age 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, then we become more self-sufficient, and we tend to take for granted the parents' love and affection, and the parents become older, and then the sense of gratitude disappears, and it was something, the parents make a very small mistake, and you feel so agitated, they're frustrated, and show anger, shout at the parents. This is something which is not really healthy for you and for your parents. For your parents, this is the greatest source of sadness. For you, say in a very vernacular sense, in a very mundane sense, your life will not be happy, because you see the most immediate person, the one closest to you, you don't know how to show love to that person. How can you show love to somebody else from whom you have not received that much love and affection? So this is what you are going to then transmit to your children. So this is very unfortunate. So therefore, say as a part of visualizing the bodhicitta field, you visualize your two parents, and even though you might have some difficulty with your parents, but then many of you, I'm sure, you don't have any conflict with your parents. But in most places where I travel, I see that there's always the conflicts with their parents, and so I always tell them that finally what we should do is to make sure that coming here for these classes, we have to revolutionize our thinking. That we should change ourselves, that we become happier, your parents become happier, your family becomes happier, and your neighbors, they will see that, wow, this is a role model. We have somebody there as a role model. Look at this girl, look at this boy. Earlier used to be so harsh on her children, her parents, his parents. Now look, she's been treating the parents so nicely, and the parents are feeling so happy just to see the daughter coming, just to see the son coming. And the parents could feel this joy. Okay, this is what we should be learning from this course. One. So for that matter, we can visualize all these, your parents and all sentient beings living on the side. And meanwhile, the next point is how to visualize them. Here, let us visualize them, them like your own children, and imagine that they come home demoralized, being bullied by the elder children at school, and you as the mother, you have to embrace them with total love, care, attention, and the affection, the way the mother actually did to you when you were so vulnerable at that age. So this is number 2. Then number 3 is the purpose of this class. The purpose of this class. Why Nalanda Diploma course? Why Nalanda Master's course? Why? It is finally to discover the treasure that each one of us has, the treasure. And it's not a metaphorical statement. It is a reality. We all have the greatest of the treasure, the greatest of the treasure of ultimate happiness, treasure of the perfect purity. It exists in every one of us. This is the reality. So with this in mind, our job is to simply see how to awaken this treasure, and then we realize that I'm the happiest person. I'm the person without any fear. I'm the happiest person. And then because that you are so happy, you radiate happiness, you radiate love and affection towards everybody who around you. And you're able to give this happiness, love and affection towards everyone. Okay, this whole purpose. And for that matter, it's not that, okay, this is what we have to do to discover who you are, your true nature, and how, or by praying, so forth. No, this is not approach. Approach is going to be very different. So this is what we're going to keep in mind. So with that in mind, okay, let's take like 2 minutes to visualize these 3 points. One, the refuge field. What to visualize, how to visualize. Okay, very quickly. Next, what is the field? What to visualize now? How to visualize? And the purpose of this practice to awaken the ultimate treasure of happiness which exists within everyone. Whether you're poor or rich, whether you're young or old, whether you're Buddhist or non-Buddhist, whether you're male or female, whether you're Indian or non-Indian, it doesn't matter. Everyone has this ultimate treasure happiness. But it is not visible at the moment, like a gold when mixed with the soil. The gold, although the nature of the gold is to glow, but we don't see the glow at all there. It doesn't mean that the gold is not there. It's that glow is obscured by some external factors, the defilements, the soil. Likewise, this ultimate treasure of happiness which exists within each one of us, that is not visible at the moment is because that is obscured by the mental defilement. So the purpose of our class here is to learn how to, first of all, identify what these mental defilements are, and then resort to the remedies to overcome the mental defilements. Okay, good. So with this mind, let's turn to page 3. With this proper motivation, and imagine that you are leading this and everyone is joining you. Your 2 parents are joining you, your children, your family members, all sentient beings are joining you, and you are leading this. Page 3. Enthused by great compassion, you taught, okay, let's read this together. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace, which is free of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the bodhisattvas, and the Buddhas, who through the knowledge of past causes those helping migrators to achieve the aims of the world, and who through the possession of omniscience help subduers expound a variety of teachings. The one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings. The teacher, Sukata and protector, to you I make prostrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines forth the forever noble light rays, to you the Buddha I make prostrations. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations to the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations to the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations to the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sangye Chudan Soge Chonam Dani Gyabzu Ji Dage Jinso Kebe Sonam Ge Dola Penjira Sangye Dubarai Shu Sangye Chuna Tsuge Chunam Chanju Bardo Dani Gyabzu Ji Dage Jinso Kebe Sonam Ge Dola Penjira Sangye Dubarai Shu Sangye Chuna Tsuge Chonamla Chanju Bardu Dani Gyabzu Chi Dage Jinso Kebe Sonamge Chola Penjire Sangye Dubarai Shu. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Okay, so before we continue, I'd like to inform you that all these verses, the stanzas that we're reading, eventually we have to make sure that we know the meaning so well. So, of course, I cannot go through the meanings right now. It'll take like the long time. So, but once in a while, I'll try to pick up one stanza at a time and explain this, and then eventually we should make sure that we know all the meanings of all the stanzas. Okay, so first let's do this mantra, and later on we'll go through the more detail, the meanings later on, not now. Okay, those of us who know this mantra, how to recite it, we'll recite this together. Those of us who do not know this, listen to us and then join us as you do come to know. Om Ye Dharma Prabhavam Hetum Desham Tathagato Yavatat Desham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Swaha. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Desham Tathagato Yavatat Desham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Swaha. Om Ye Dharma Hetum Desham Tathagato Yavatat Desham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Swaha. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Desham Tathagato Yavatat Desham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Swaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. Cessation of the causes as well is taught by the great seer. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear light, and non-composite. I've discovered. Finding no one will fathom this teaching. In silence, I'll return to the words. Pure utterance, thought, and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which the unborn unsees and has the nature of space. It is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of the three times of obeisance. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is also all. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, please liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expanse of billions of aeons. The Buddha does not watch the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. not transferred to them, is by teaching the truth of the suchness that the beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered miseries glow. If you're attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you're attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you're attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. Okay, the old book, maybe page 14. Okay, the old book, page 14. The praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. Okay, same. New book, page 14. Old book, page 14. Okay, when we read this, praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. Praise means it's a eulogy. It's qualifying the Buddha's the qualities. So there, let us not imagine that by the saying this, we are praising the Buddha. By praising the Buddha, then the Buddha will be very happy, and the Buddha will then say, "They bless us." This is not the idea. It should not be thought of like this. The whole idea is that we praise the Buddha. For example, say if you appreciate. If you really have a tremendous admiration to Albert Einstein, then of course you will talk all good things about Albert Einstein. So in the process of talking good things about Albert Einstein, you are making yourself connected with the Albert Einstein. The more you feel connected, the more receptive you become to his qualities. So this is how we learn things. And finally, our job here is to learn these wonderful qualities which were manifested by the great teacher Buddha Shakyamuni. So as we recite the praise to Buddha Shakyamuni or the eulogy to Buddha Shakyamuni, so what the attitude with which we are to recite that is by looking at what are the qualities indicated. What are the qualities of the Buddha indicated? And the point is that we all have these qualities, what the Buddha demonstrated. We all have these qualities, either may not be fully, but then partially, or in the form of seed. It is there within us. So just see that, okay, these are the qualities on the basis of which somebody becomes enlightened. So I also have the seed of perfection. I also have the seed of enlightenment. So these are the qualities which I have to work on. If you just see if you have some of these qualities, if you do have, then rejoice. Then how to nurture them further. Whereas if you don't see that these qualities, if you don't see these qualities within you, then see how to cultivate them. Cultivate them, and then once cultivated, see how to nurture them further. Okay, this is to seek inspiration, not really to make him happy, make the Buddha happy, and then you expect some blessings. This is not the idea. Okay, with that in mind, let's recite together. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the four destroyer, completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfected, supreme God of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O supreme amongst humans, you are born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I'm supreme in this world. To you who are wise, then, I prostrate. With pure bodies, form supremely pure, with motion like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, win of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With the supreme signs, face like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Touch me like you, the 3 worlds are not, incomparable wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you the Tathagata I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dharma that pacifies I prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, wholly filled, qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you the Sangha I prostrate. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions, subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew, water bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud, see conditioned things as such. Through this marriage may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the four faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the ways of aging, sickness, and death. Okay, the old book, page 31. A new book, page 31, both. Page 31. We will recite the Heart Sutra mantra. Heart Sutra mantra. And again, eventually we have to learn the significance, the meaning, the significance, the benefit of this. I'm not going to go into detail as of now. Later on we will do that. Page 31. Page 31. Page 31. Okay. So the idea is the literal meaning. Om, Tyatha, Om. This syllable Om, whether you have it, not have it, is not a problem. Some people add it, some people do not add it. And then the Gate, Paragate, Parasamgate, Bodhiswa. Literally it means here is thus. Tyatha means here is thus. Gate, go. Paragate, go beyond. Parasangate, go utterly beyond. Bodhiswaha, establish your enlightenment, establish your full awakening, establish your ultimate happiness. Okay, this meaning, go beyond, go utterly beyond, and establish your enlightenment. Okay, and so the meaning is go here means to go. Go is journey. Of course, it is not external journey, it's an internal journey, a journey of the mind. To go from undertake this journey where, starting from the point of your mind being very dirty, our mind being very dirty, to the state of the mind of the perfect purity, where the gold inside becomes manifest, and that you experience total fearlessness and you experience infinite happiness. So this is a journey. And of course, how to undertake this journey? This is what we are learning here as the Narada Diploma Course program. Okay, with that in mind, let's recite this together 7 times. And those of us, again, who know how to recite it, will join me. And those who do not, it's very simple. Those of you who do not know this, you will be listen to us and then join us. Om Gati Paragati Parasamgati Bodhiswaha Tyatha 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 Om Gati Paragati Parasamgati Bodhiswaha. Okay, today we will skip the meditation today. We will do it from the next session. So basically today, the topic, as we were doing last time, the first session, is about the Buddha's biography, and then the three, I'm thinking of including the three turnings, Wheel of Dharma, plus the three baskets of the Buddha's teachings, then the three trainings. Okay, before that, let us, the class that is happening here, the course that is happening here, let us know the basic framework. The basic framework that we need to keep in mind is that we should be confident of what we are doing here. Whatever we're learning here, just be very confident. And should you have any questions, of course, I appreciate there's a flow happening. And then you have suddenly a question came to your mind from somebody asked you some 10 years ago, and then you just interrupt the flow and then ask something unrelated question. That is, may not be helpful to all of us. So the flow is very important, and for you to have the flow, if there's a pressing question, I use a word, a technical word. Let's say, for example, the self-grasping ignorance. And you don't know what it is. And then you may just wait for some time to see if it comes again with the more detail in the explanation. If not, if it becomes too pressing in your mind, then you can ask. Because then for you, the flow is not happening. You are interrupted by this word with which you get stuck. So therefore, the point is that it's going to be a little interactive, but there should be balance, right? So once in a while, I'll ask questions to you, and just let us not waste time. Sometimes what happens is I ask a question, and people remain silent, and then we are about to move to the next part, then so many hands coming up. So that is it's going to be a waste of time. So the point is that when I ask questions, just speak your mind. We are not at all talking about I'm expecting correct answer. I'm expecting an elegant answer. This is not what I'm expecting. So in fact, any answer that comes from your heart, that is the best answer that I'm expecting. Even though you may have, somebody might have a very profound philosophical answer, but it doesn't really resonate with one's own thinking. Whereas you asking a question which may sound so simple, but it really is coming from your heart, that is the philosophy. Because that person who is asking the question from what is coming from one's heart, that person will really grow in the philosophy, and others who talk about the philosophy but not really resonating with what one thinks, that person will not really grow in the philosophy. So the real philosophy, if you really want to appreciate, if you really want to find fun and joy in the study of philosophy, it must resonate with your deep thinking, your own personal thinking. Okay, with this in mind, the once in a while is going to be interactive. I ask questions, you give your answers, I'll be very happy. So in this is how we have to grow. I benefit, we all benefit out of this. Okay, and then sometimes there could be very good questions coming up, and which would be really a food for thought for all of us. So most welcome. Don't feel hesitant. Okay, with this in mind, it reminds me of my time when I was in class 10, I think. Class 10, Central Board of Secondary Education, class 10, before I joined the monastery, in school. There was, and later who came to me, who became my teacher, Venerable Genlam Rinpoche. He was a hermit in the hills, and one of my a senior in school, I came to know that he was going to Venerable Genlam Rinpoche to receive teachings, advice, and so forth, and I was not going there. And then there in school, I was my personality. Those of you here who know me well, you know that my personality is a questioning is questioning. This is my personality. And several things struck me. Was, because that class 9, we were introduced to physics as a separate subject. And then all these questions, how, why, all these things I started to learn all these things. And I really enjoyed it. And then this attitude I applied to the Buddhist philosophy or Buddhist teachings, Buddhism, not religious Buddhist philosophy, because I was just like age 14 or 15. Then I showed interest to meet with Gelman Rinpoche, the hermit, so that I can have these questions solved. And then my senior, who was maybe 1 year, 2 years senior to me, I sent a message through him. Then he must have somehow passed a message to Gelman Rinpoche that there's a young boy, 2 years junior to me, and he is very skeptic. He must have said like this. He's very skeptic, and he has some questions. Okay, then he gave me an appointment. And so I went there, and I did not go there as a skeptic person. I went there with a very genuine question. And then the approach of my teacher later became my teacher, approach of the hermit was that he was really very serious, like this. There's like, say, the wall between two of us. And then, no, I'm just a young child, and there's no skepticism there. I have some genuine questions there. And then the teacher, who must be in his late 50s, and he was a little serious like this. And then I started to ask questions. Then, of course, he's very smart. Now he passed away, and later became my teacher. Very, very fortunate. Then he sensed that this boy, what he's going to ask is very serious. It's a genuine question, not the sarcastic question. So he relaxed. Then what he said, that's very interesting. What he said, it really hits my mind. This is the greatest of the inspiration in my life. What he said is that if you don't have suffering, you don't have to practice Buddhism. You don't need religion if you don't have suffering. Wow, that's amazing. That really gave me such a joy. That's so pragmatic. It's like, why should we have to follow religion if I don't have suffering, right? I have a suffering, so where can I get the answers? Then somebody come up with the principles, philosophy, religion, so forth. Okay, this you think, and your suffering go away. Wow, that's amazing. He did not have modern education, but his thinking is very modern. I was so fascinated. Okay, this should be I would say that let us see if that resonates with your thinking as well. Then let us take that as approach. That if I'm not suffering, I don't need religion. I don't need philosophy. I don't need even modern science. Okay, with this in mind, then the next question is that what am I seeking? What am I seeking? Right? What's the meaning of my life? What's the purpose of my life? These are the questions that we have to ask to ourselves. Be very honest to yourself. What's the purpose of my life? What's the meaning of my life? And then you will see that the relevance of philosophy, relevance of modern science, the relevance of neuroscience, relevance of quantum physics. You will see the relevance of all these studies. Okay, some of us may think that, okay, modern studies, why do we have to really look at the relevance? Of course, if there's no relevance, why do we have to study modern science? If there's no relevance, why do you have to study language if there's no relevance? You're getting it? And if you still don't understand it, what I'm saying, very easy. Okay, in this group, how many of you learned how to send telegraphic message? How many learned that? How to send telegraphic message? Raise your hands, including me. Ajirji, one. Oh, Angel, how come? Huh? You are new generation. Ajirji, fine. Ajirji is new generation, young generation. And then Ajirji, me, and anybody, hey, raise hands, who learned how to send telegraphic or how to write telegraphic messages, not send. Sending somebody will do it. The mechanical person will be there. But then how to write telegraphic messages, raise hands. As a part of your English lesson. 1, 2, 3. Ajirji 4. No, Pinzola, you're joking. You're a new generation.
That they are part of course.
For the old generation,
Yes.
it is there. Then, after that, then the emails, all these things came. Emails, which means the book is not updated. Your textbook is not updated. Emails, all these things came. Then the telegraphic message becomes redundant.
Before that, even paging came. Before email, paging was there.
Okay, I do not know that. Okay, paging came. So, which means that the telegraphic message, how to write telegraphic message, it becomes so redundant, right? Obsolete, out of date. So therefore, now it is erased from the syllabus. You're getting it? Okay, how many you don't know? How many you do not hear about a telegraph message? Raise hands. These are new young generations. 1. Anila, you know that? You know? You heard about it? You don't know how to do it. Okay. Okay, so what I'm saying is that if it is not relevant to you, to your happiness, if it has no relevance to removing your suffering, why should we have to do that? You're getting it? The best example is the telegraphic message sending. You're getting it? And then earlier we also have the floppy disk. Now the floppy disk is out of... How many of you know floppy disk? Raise your hands. How many don't know floppy disk? How many don't know floppy disk? Huh?
I'm not following what you're saying.
Floppy disk. Okay. How many don't know what is floppy disk? Which means you must be age 10 or 11. If you don't know what is floppy disk. You're getting it? Okay, what I'm saying is that it has now become obsolete. It has become obsolete, outdated. You're getting it? If it is of no relevance, just erase it. So likewise, spirituality, the philosophy, psychology, quantum physics, neuroscience, relativity theory, mathematics, if they have no relevance to your happiness, if they have no relevance to getting rid of suffering, just delete that from your mind. You're getting it? So this was the inspiration that I got from my teacher, Venerable Gelam Rinpoche. Okay, so having said this, then the next question is, what do you think? What do you think is the most important in your life? Okay, let me put this question again. What do you think is the most important in your life? Right? Okay, just speak your mind. Anybody, very quick. Anybody, what do you think? I'm sure you are going to be a little hesitant because you don't know each other well. If I say something, others may feel that I'm weird. Okay, yes?
Being happy.
Okay, being happy, very good. And all answers may not necessarily be identical. You're getting it? Answers can be like thousands, be multiple. Anybody? Anybody? Yes, through the mic.
Family.
Okay, family, what? Bad family?
My family, good. My family is
My
important.
bad family?
Good family.
Oh, good family. So make it very precise, crystal clear. Don't just say family, right? My good family, my happy family. Very good. Anybody else? Anybody else? Yes.
I think for me, it's the happiness of my son, which is
Happiness of my son. Very good.
most relevant.
Most relevant. Anybody else? Anybody else? Yes, there. Good health. Very good. Good health. Anybody else? Yes, the girl there on the chair. Girl there on the chair. Yes.
I think to me, to be able to do something meaningful in my life. Yeah.
To do something meaningful in life. Wonderful, amazing. And don't think that if somebody is heading towards personal business, then okay, now if I say my business, then it's contradictory to what she said. I should not be saying this. Okay, don't restrict yourself, right? Speak your mind. Anybody. Yes?
Maybe to understand what's going on.
Don't say maybe.
Okay.
I'm
cool.
asking what is your...
Yeah. To understand what is going in my head below the threshold from which I can, understand. Maybe that resonates.
Okay, what is actually happening within my mind more than below the textual studies?
Yes.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's amazing. Okay, why I'm asking this question is very important. It's not that I want to learn what do you think. This is not what I want to learn. Right? It's just number one, to activate your thinking. Right? If I don't ask this question, then you will take a monologue and your mind slowly may go into the shopping malls. Then I will not know that. You will not be with me. To make sure that you're with me, I ask these questions so that you start thinking. You're getting it? Number one. Number two is that when the answer comes from the audience, then you see this as very extemporaneous answer coming. It's not that I came prepared. You're getting it? Okay. From this, you will see the relevance of these studies, Nalanda Diploma course, the relevance of that in our day-to-day life. Okay. That was 2003. End of 2003, I was in England. I was in Cambridge. Then physics. Okay, some of you might be wondering why he's always talking about physics all the time, right? Okay, so if you want to know, you will learn it later, not now. So basically, is 2003, end of 2003. Maybe some of you are not born. Huh? Born?
Yes.
The boy there is born? Okay, 2003, there was, in Cambridge, there was one physicist, a brilliant physicist, extremely brilliant, right? Okay, you might be excited to meet him. Don't be excited to meet him. Don't meet him. If you meet him, the first thing he will say is that you say something, 1-2 words, he will say that there's internal contradiction there. Right? You cannot even utter a word. He will say there's internal contradiction. It's totally meaningless. This is how he will begin his talk with you. Very difficult to talk to. Right? So we started to have discussions and debates on the philosophy of science, because he's from physics background. Then, say the debate, this discussion and the debate, both of us supposed to be attending a birthday party of our common friend. And the birthday party ended up with the debate. And it went from 7 p.m. till like 12 a.m., midnight. And all the people left. 2 of us are there. And the host became frustrated. He said, 2 of you can continue the debate later on. So in a way saying, please leave. Right? Then he said, yes, Dorji, we have to meet again. I'll invite you for a dinner. Then he invited me for a dinner. And then he, his wife, and myself, and a common friend, then we sat at the table. And then we again started to have discussions, debates, discussions. And the wife said that I'm not really interested in what 2 of you are discussing. As long as I have a happy life, as long as I have enough resources, that is what I'm seeking. That is what I'm interested in. I'm not at all interested in what 2 of you are discussing, because she felt bored. So supposed to be invited somebody for a dinner, and then they started debating. Okay, so why I'm bringing this up is that this lady, said that I'm interested in, the happy life. What debate, what discussion, right? Happy life. This is what enough resources, good resources there. This is what I'm seeking. I'm happy with this. This is what she said. So some people, they would say that, what's the most meaningful, right? I can put it differently. Say, what do you like to become in you? What do you like to have in your life? What do you like to have in your life? Some people may say that a good family. Some people may say that wealth. Some people may say that good health. Some people may say that promotion. Right? Maybe some of you here, younger ones, anticipating for promotions, right? Promotions. And some may say that the good salary. You're getting it? Okay. And then an adventure, music, art, and so forth. Okay, so there you see that the answer is divergent. To the same question, what do you seek in your life? Answer is multiple and divergent, numerous and divergent. But if you ask the second question, oftentimes we don't ask the second question. If you ask the second question, then we see that all these answers will boil down to the same. Why do you need more money? So that I'll be happy. Why do you need good health? So that I'll be happy. I will not suffer. Why do you need promotion? Then I feel myself as somebody. Then why do you seek adventure? Wow, adventure. With the adventure, then I become one with the nature. It's beautiful. I'm happy. In other words, all these divergent answers, if you ask the second question, why, they will all boil down to the same answer. That is that it'll make me happy. Okay. So finally, we see that whether you're a Buddhist or not Buddhist, whether you're a boy or a girl, it doesn't matter. Whether you're a believer or not believer, it doesn't matter. What we are seeking is we are all seeking happiness. We all shun miseries. These are the two commonalities which are shared across the humanity and across the sentient beings. This is reality. You're getting it? Okay. So now, if somebody were to really ask you a question, what's the meaning of life? What we can say is that the meaning of my life is to get rid of all my suffering and to have the maximum happiness. Do you agree with me or not?
Yes.
Okay, this aspiration, whose aspiration is this? Boys or the girls?
Boys.
Boys. Okay, then, what about the girls? Girls?
Yes.
What would you say? Whose aspiration is this, boys or the girls?
Every human being.
Everyone. You're getting it? What about the Buddhists and non-Buddhists? Who? Everyone. You're getting it? Educated and uneducated. Everyone. So therefore, these are the two aspirations you see common across humanity. Everybody seeks this. If somebody were to ask you, what is your aspiration for life? What are you seeking? What's the meaning of life? Is to get rid of all my suffering and to have the maximum happiness. And this is reality. You're getting it? Okay, now, the point is that if this is what I'm seeking, then what could be the next question? Anybody? What we said is that my aspiration is to to get rid of all the suffering and to have the maximum happiness. What would be the next question? Yes?
How?
How to.
Mike.
So how to cessation of
Okay, how to stop the suffering?
yes, how
And
to,
how to have the maximum happiness.
So I think both are interlinked for me. I mean, I'm saying that end of suffering. How do I end my suffering?
Okay, for you, end of suffering and the maximum happiness are the same.
Yes, end of suffering will lead to maximum happiness.
Lead to or is the maximum happiness?
Is or lead to. Or,
No, lead to and is are different,
okay.
right?
So
Say the MA will lead to, BA will lead to PhD. BA is not PhD.
yes,
You getting it?
yes.
Lead to and is different.
So for me, it will lead to happiness.
Okay, so end of suffering is not happiness per se.
No, actually, it is.
Don't worry. As long as you speak your mind, this is what I'm looking for.
Yes.
As you're speaking your mind, I can see that you're speaking your mind, right? So speaking your mind, sometimes there is a little the haziness there.
Yes.
Haziness can lead to and is equate, right? So the purpose, the benefit of studying the knowledge development course is to articulate, learn how to articulate your concepts. You're getting it? Articulation is very important. So this will give you the clarity. Okay, very good.
Thank you.
So the point is that the to get rid of all the suffering and to have the maximum happiness. How many of you agree with me? Oh, agree with me doesn't mean that I accept that. You're getting it? Okay, what I'm saying is that how many of you would say that no suffering, maximum happiness, these two are synonymous. These two mean the same. Raise your hands. How many of you think that to make suffering zero equals maximum happiness? How many of you think that? Raise your hands. How many of you don't think that? Okay. How many think of that? How many think that the no suffering and the maximum happiness, these two are synonymous? Give me any raise hands. Okay. How many of you think that the suffering, get rid of suffering altogether, may not be 100% happiness? Raise hands. Okay, many of you. Now tell me, those of you who raise your hands, by saying that no suffering doesn't mean maximum happiness, what makes you think that way? Anybody? What makes you, yes, here?
This might take a while to articulate, but yeah, I'll try. So essentially, say I like to I feel that meditating is good for me, right? I start with the meditation. Might not be good at it. I might be suffering, I'm just not there. I'm trying to get there. But at the end of the day, I'm happy because I've done meditation today. It might not have been a good session. I wouldn't have felt good about it. I suffered while meditating. My legs were paining. But that led to me being happy when I ended the session because I meditated today. Yeah.
Okay, so initially when you meditated, you have pain. At the end of the meditation, you feel happy. You get a sense of fulfillment, happiness. So the suffering per se is not happiness. This is what I'm saying? Or is happiness?
Suffering.
In your case.
So in my case, suffering at that moment led me to be happy. I was suffering.
No, this is not the question. Okay, how many of you got the question? First, we have to get the question clear. Once you get the question clear, then you have to give the answer. Okay, here.
My understanding.
No question. What's the question?
Yeah, my understanding of the question is that end of all suffering is equal to happiness.
Very good. And not just happiness. Is it the maximum happiness?
Maximum happiness. So
Okay,
end
very
of
good.
all suffering is a measurement or equal to leading to happiness or is equal to happiness.
Not leading to.
Or is equal to happiness.
Very good. Okay, the young gentleman here.
I think you said zero suffering is 100 happiness.
Very good. Zero suffering equals 100% happiness, right? Okay. I didn't say that. I said whether or not. You're getting it? I didn't say that this equals that. I didn't say that. I said whether or not the two are synonymous. Okay. So how many of you said these are not synonymous? Raise hands. Okay, good. Okay, this is very important. This is very important, particularly for us who are doing the Nalanda Diploma course. Because doing the Nalanda Diploma course, the benefit is that the audience of participants, you are going to be more the same participants. So you have a momentum, you have to flow. There's a continuation there, there's a flow there, because of which we are doing things very systematically. This is the benefit. Otherwise, say, okay, 2-day intensive course in Tibet House, 3-day intensive course in Bodh Gaya, and then some days intensive course in Pune. So like this. So there, what happens is that you will get something there, but you will not get things very systematically. So, for example, I can speak on quantum physics, but if an expert quantum physicist listen to my talk, will see that this is an amateur's talk on quantum physics. This is not the real quantum physics. You're getting it? Because what I learned is just like the bits and pieces. It's not a very systematic study. Likewise, there are many people who attended teaching of His Holiness the Dalai Lama here, teaching of this teacher there, this here, and so forth, because they do not get the opportunity to study very systematically. So therefore, at the end of the day, when you ask some questions, you will see that they can speak on many topics, but they cannot link the topics. That the flow is not there. Okay, so for that matter, because that we have the opportunity to have the flow, and I would very much encourage you that this is in day 2. I won't be really very surprised or happy that you're here. I'll be more happy if the same faces I'll see at the end of the Nalanda course batch 2. If I see the same face coming, being very consistent, I'll be very happy, which means that you've been very consistent. Consistency is very important. Okay, with this in mind, because that this course expects the audience to be very consistent, I would not hesitate to bring the technicalities. Where in the other talks, many of the talks and even some of the retreats, I may not go too much into the technicalities. Particularly in one day talk, I just skip all the technicalities, because one day talk, if I go into technicalities, nobody will get anything, right? Okay, so here I would not hesitate to bring the technicalities. Technicalities will make you to learn things very systematically and connected, and you will get the whole. Okay, with this in mind, what is what is a state of the no suffering, zero suffering? Whether or not it equals the maximum happiness or 100% happiness? This question. So all these questions, if possible, we try to note them down and try to analyze. Right? Don't just take what I say blindly. What I say, don't discard it. Don't take it blindly. Just keep it and then subject this to analysis and see if you agree. If you agree, well and good. If you don't agree, it's fine. You're getting it? But at least you must learn how to activate your and the analytical thinking. Let's say one example that I give some of the boys and girls from the Panorama. How many of you are from Panorama Residence? Panorama course? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the Panorama course students, it's going to be like more revision for you. For others, this is very important. Let's say that we are all, all of us, we are, let's say, that we all mathematics professor. We're all mathematics professor. And they're two not the top ranking professors, mediocre ranking professors. We're all mediocre professors in mathematics, right? Okay. And your university vice chancellor suddenly tells you that, okay, so the UGC Indian government instructed our university to host a public talk to 1,000 PhD students in mathematics from all over the world, right? So it's just the instruction that came from the UGC. What is UGC? University Grant Commission. UGC Indian government. Okay, so it's a very sudden instruction that came from the UGC. So therefore, I request you to do it. Please do it. Okay, so you have to give the talk to the PhD students in mathematics, right? In mathematics, usually the mathematics and the physics, theoretical physics, these two are very closely connected. And there are 1,000 theoretical physics students, also mathematics students, 1,000 students there, PhD students. Okay, are you happy? Are you excited to give the talk? Hey, are you excited or you're not excited? Why not? What an honor. So, to 1,000 PhD students. You will never get this opportunity later on. It's a great opportunity. No, you don't find it exciting? Hey, what happened? You excited or not excited?
I'm mediocre.
We are not excited because we are mediocre. Because we are mediocre, right? What's there if you're mediocre? What's the problem? What's the problem? Because amongst these people, they are the future Nobel laureates in physics, right? Mathematics, there is no the Nobel Prize, luckily, right? Physics, yes. Physics, yes. So therefore, these very bright people are there. The future Nobel laureates are there, right? So you're very scared, which is meant, are you in misery now or you are excited? You're in misery now. So you want to make your misery zero. How to make your misery zero? You go to Albert Einstein, right? You go to Albert Einstein and then Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking, what is his field? Anybody? Huh? Okay, the Stephen Hawking, his main subject is mathematics, along with the theoretical physics. Main subject is mathematics. The Stephen Hawking. So I was about to meet him in Cambridge. When I was there in Cambridge, I was about to meet him, then finally I gave up. Okay, don't ask me why. Huh? Okay, so basically what I'm saying is that then you requested him. You requested, okay, let's say you requested Albert Einstein to give the talk. Okay, if he accepts it, will he be scared? No. So there is no misery in him to give a talk to these 1,000 students. So this is my subject, right? So who cares? These people, who cares, right? Okay, so it's my subject, it's my area. Okay, so there is no misery, but he has one problem. What's the problem? The problem is that he heard the news that the Nazi Hitler has confiscated his house in Germany. Is he happy or not happy? Although he's given the talk, no misery pertaining to the talk, given the talk, but he's not happy because he has been hearing this bad news. Is it true or not? His house was confiscated by the Nazis in Germany? Answer is yes. Okay. Then, the next talk, the next session, you invited Niels Bohr. Niels Bohr to give a talk on the theoretical physics. Will he feel miserable? He is the father of the quantum physics. So again, it's his area. He'll not feel miserable. Will he have happiness? It is his birthday that day. It is his birthday. He's very happy. Everybody celebrates his birthday. So he has no misery, plus he's very happy. Einstein, he has no misery, but he's not too happy, right? Within a given situation. So no misery does not mean maximum happiness. This is the point. You're getting it? How many of you want no miseries? Raise your hands. How many want no miseries? Raise your hands. Okay, those who did not raise hands, you want miseries. Right? The morning you wake up, oh, I'm so excited, today I'll have a misery. Okay, so the point is that nobody wants miseries. So this is one of your goals. And how many of you want happiness? Raise your hands. Good. And how many of you want what degree of happiness? 10%? 10%. If possible, 100%. Don't say 100%. It's not sure whether you get it. If possible, 100%. Okay, so these are two different goals. These are two different goals in your life. Now, we have to know the technicalities. What are the technicalities? The technicalities is that if you are seeking no miseries, absence of miseries, a cessation of miseries, this is technically referred to as nirvana. Nirvana, nibbana. In Pali, it is Nibbana. In Sanskrit, it is Nirvan. You're getting it? So, no miseries is technically referred to as Nirvan or Nibbana. The maximum happiness is known as Buddhahood. Buddhahood. Maximum happiness is known as Buddhahood. Okay. Now, depending on your audience, what audience you have. If the audience, they're already aware of the Buddhist concepts, then you can say that our goal is to achieve nirvana and Buddhahood. If your audience is somebody who has no idea about Buddhism, no idea about the Buddhist concepts, you can say that our goal is to get rid of all the suffering and to get the maximum happiness. The meaning is the same. You're getting it? Okay. Now, what I like to say is that if these two things, which two things?
Maximum happiness.
No suffering and the maximum happiness, or nirvana and Buddhahood. If these two things are what we are seeking, the next question which you asked me is whether or not it is possible. Whether or not it is possible that we can achieve a state of freedom from suffering, cessation of suffering, and the maximum happiness. Whether or not these two are possible. This question. What's the answer? Yes, or I'm not too sure. Right? Okay.
Buddhahood, yes.
Nirvana?
Not too sure.
Okay. How many of you have to get PhD degree in mathematics without knowing 2 plus 2 equals 4? How many of you can get PhD degree in mathematics without knowing 2 plus 2 equals 4? Raise your hands. Why are you not raising your hands? Why?
Not possible.
Because for somebody to get a PhD degree in mathematics without knowing 2 plus 2 equals 4, it is impossible to get a PhD degree in mathematics. So without nirvana, Buddhahood is not possible. To achieve Buddhahood means nirvana is included. You're getting it? And the details, don't worry. I know you know what the thought behind your thing. Nirvana, there are two kinds. Personal nirvana, nirvana for oneself, and nirvana for all beings. You're getting it? Okay. Nirvana for oneself and nirvana for all beings. Nirvana for oneself, usually people call that as nirvana. Nirvana for all beings, this is not what people usually qualify as nirvana, but this is the best nirvana. You're getting it? Okay, so these, don't worry, we'll go into details later on. Okay, now what we see is that these two things, nirvana, Buddhahood, or the cessation of all miseries and the infinite happiness. Is it possible that we can achieve these two states? This question. You getting it? Don't start by saying yes. You are getting it? If you say yes, I'll ask how. And then you have to give me the answer. And till you give me the answer, you cannot leave Tibet house. Alright, so therefore don't say yes. Simply say, I don't know, I'm not sure. You're getting it? If you're sure, give an answer. If you're not sure, just say, I'm not sure. You must get the conviction. Okay, with this, the question is, tell him, I squeeze a handful of sand. I squeeze a handful of sand. Okay, in my left hand, handful of sand. In my right hand, handful of sunflower seeds. I squeeze a handful of sunflower seeds. I squeeze a handful of sand. Oil comes out. Yes, no? No? Only from the sunflower seeds, not from the sand. Why not from the sand? Because I do the same thing. I squeeze in both. Why not all come from both?
It doesn't have oil.
Okay, handful of sand does not have oil inside. In order for the oil to come out, there must be the potential for oil inside that. Likewise, we squeeze our mind, see if the Buddhahood comes out. Right? Squeeze the mind, nirvana comes out. If for nirvana and Buddhahood to come out, there must be something inside. You're getting it? So for the handful of sand, squeeze it, no oil come out of it because there's nothing inside it. The sunflower seed, squeeze it, oil come out of it because inside there's something there. Likewise, we squeeze our mind, Buddhahood comes out, or Nirvanahood comes out. That depends on whether or not something is inside. You're getting it? So the answer is yes, there's something inside. There's something inside. You're getting it? Okay, something inside, something, the seed of the cessation of miseries, number one. The seed of the infinite happiness. Both are there within each one of us. It doesn't matter whether you're a boy or girl. It doesn't matter whether you are Tibetan or non-Tibetan. It doesn't matter whether you are Indian, educated, uneducated. It doesn't matter. Everyone has this seed. It doesn't matter whether you're a believer or non-believer. Hindu, Muslim, Jain, Christian, Buddhist, non-believers, Sikhs. It doesn't matter. Everybody has that seed of perfection. These two seeds are there within everybody. Now, if these two seeds are why I'm not seeing this? Why I'm not seeing this? Okay, let's say the gold filings, iron filings, likewise gold filings, fine gold dust. Gold dust, if you have the gold dust, if you collect gold dust, they'll glow. Do you agree with me? Gold dust, pure gold dust, you just collect them, they'll just glow. Now mix this gold dust with the dust, with the mud. With the mud, mix it well. Does it glow?
Yes. We won't be able to see the glow, but it will.
No. My question is, does it glow?
No.
Does it glow? This is my question. Now, my question is not, is there the gold? If I ask, is there gold? Your answer is yes. But the question is, does it glow? It doesn't glow. So in our eyes, this clay, the mud, which is a mixture of the mud and the gold, and the pure mud, in our eyes, these two are same. But in the eyes of the gold experts, these two are not same. Gold experts will throw the second one, will treasure the first one. Why are you trying to treasure the first one? You will ask this question. He will say that because there's a gold there. How do you know that? What he'll do? He will separate the dirt, the mud, from the gold. As he separated the dirt from the gold more and more, then the gold inside will start to glow. You're getting it? Likewise, if the seed, beautiful seed inside us, is not visible, because it's like the gold filing mixed with the mud. Mixed with the mud. We don't see this. Right? We don't see that. We don't see the glowing, 24 hours glowing. Right? How do we know that? Monday mornings, what is your face like? Hey, why are you laughing? I'm asking Monday mornings, what is your face like? Huh? Very excited?
Sad.
Very sad. You're getting it? So this gold is not glowing 24 hours. Or is it particularly on Monday mornings it doesn't glow? You're getting it? But the gold is inside. But it's not glowing on the Monday mornings. You're getting it? Which means that this glow is obstructed by something. Like the gold glow is obstructed by the mud. Our mind is obstructed by this mud. What is that mud? Mental defilements. Mental defilements. Mental defilements. Mental stains. Mental obscurations. You're getting it? Obscurations which obscure these two beautiful seeds within us, the two golds within us. Okay. So our job is what? The job of the gold expert is to remove the dirt from the gold. Likewise, our job is to remove the mental dirt from the gold of the happiness, maximum happiness, and the cessation of miseries. This is a job. Remove these dirt. Okay. To remove the dirt, you have to know the nature of the dirt. Right? If your cloth falls in the mud, then how will you remove the dirt? Wash it in the water. And if in the cloth, if it is greasy, would you just put in the water? What will you do? However much water you use, the grease will not go away. For that, but the mud goes away. The grease, it doesn't go away. Why not? Okay, because the nature is different. The nature of the mud and the nature of the grease, these two are different. Mud, you can just dip in the water and the solid mud will disappear. But the grease will not go away with the water. It requires a detergent. Likewise, to remove the dirt, we have to know the nature of the dirt. If you don't know the nature of the dirt, however much you put effort, we cannot get rid of these things. So we have to know the nature of these dirt. Okay, what is that dirt like? What's the nature of that dirt? So to know the nature of dirt, we have to know that it is of two kinds. It's of two kinds. One is gross and one is subtle. The gross and the subtle. The dirt, one is very gross and one is very subtle. Okay. Gross one, the gross mental dirt. Okay, now while I try to explain very simply, I'm also going to go into the technicalities. You're getting it? Technicalities. And make sure that don't think that these are all like stories, right? Very interesting to listen. Later on, quiz will come, right? Prepare for the quiz. Okay, all these will come in the quiz, right? Okay. Okay, so the point is that this metal dirt is of two kinds, gross and the subtle. Gross and the subtle. So what is that like? What is that like? Say, I like to give an example of say, garlic. Let's say somebody smashed garlic in my mug. And let's say that I don't take any garlic. And then I ask, said, you smashed garlic in my mug? You said, sorry, yes, I did it. And then he feels very apologetic. You feel very apologetic. What do? You take it away, then you remove the garlic, then you wash it so well in the water. Okay, is there any garlic now? You put a finger in, you see if there's any garlic. There's no garlic there. Smell it? It still smells garlic. How many of you have no idea that, oh, it doesn't still smell garlic? How many of you have no idea? Raise hands. You have no idea? After you remove the garlic, you wash it so well and keep it like a few seconds. You smell it, it still smells garlic. Answer is yes. Right? If you don't know that, don't come to NDC for the time being. First, experiment it. Do the experiment and then come to the next class. You're getting it? This is true. Okay. So we see that the solid garlic is there and the subtle smell of the garlic is there. Which is more difficult to get rid of? Smell is more difficult to get rid of. So the solid garlic with the mental defilements, which obscure these two beautiful seeds. Mental defilements. The gross one is known as afflictive obscurations, and subtle one is known as cognitive obscurations. The gross mental defilements is known as afflictive obscurations, and subtle mental defilements is known as cognitive obscurations. Cognitive obscurations. And some people translate it as obscuration to omniscience. Both are correct. Cognitive, C-O-G-N-I-T-I-V, cognitive obscurations, or obscurations to omniscience. Both are correct. In Tibetan, Nyundip, Shedip. The first one is Nyundip, afflictive obscurations. Second one is Shedip, cognitive obscurations. Okay, now what's the job of this gross obscurations, and what's the job of the cognitive obscurations, the third one? So the job of the afflictive obscurations is to stop you from achieving a state of no miseries. The gross one will stop you from achieving the state of no miseries. Miserylessness. It will stop you from achieving miserylessness. And the subtle one will stop you from achieving infinite happiness. In other words, technically speaking, the first one, afflictive obscuration, stop you from achieving nirvana, and the cognitive obscuration will stop you from achieving Buddhahood. You're getting it? Now what we know is that there are two goals. We have the two goals and the two seeds inside us and the two obscurations. We have two goals that we are seeking, miserylessness and the infinite happiness. And the two seeds inside, to achieve these two, we have the two seeds inside, because without the two seeds, the goal will not come out. So two seeds inside us, and these two seeds are blocked by the two mental defilements, obscurations. One is afflictive obscurations, and the other one, subtle one, is known as cognitive obscurations. Okay. Now with this, yes. Okay.
Example of cognitive and afflicted.
Thank you. Why I'm thank you is not really thank you. Why I'm saying thank you is not really thank you. It's to tell you, don't be surprised. It's to tell you that once in the 8-day retreat, Bodhicitta retreat, when giving the talk, when giving the teachings, okay, the participants, okay, why I'm in the middle of the class, I'm sharing this story is so that you will apply what the content of this story is all about throughout Nalanda Diploma course for the next 1.5 years. You're getting it? Okay, so if I'm sharing this story with you. And that people, they, in between they ask questions like this. And there was one gentleman who was sitting at the end of the hall, not asking any question. And then do the one-on-one meeting with him, I realized that he is a brilliant mathematician. And his questions that he asked, the questions are so good. I told him, why are you not asking questions in the class? Then he said, right? Then he said that questions come to me. When the questions come to me, I wait for 2 minutes and the answer comes from you. Right? I'm being patient for 2 minutes, answer comes from you. This is what he said. So therefore, there's no need for me to interrupt the flow. In a way, what I'm saying is don't interrupt the flow. Be patient for 2 minutes. You're getting it? Okay. So this is, now the next question is, what exactly is afflictive obscuration? If there's the gross one, what is that like? What is the subtle one like? You're getting it? The gross one. Gross one is of 3 kinds. You're getting it? Okay. So question is, what are they? So answer, gross one is of 3 kinds. Automatic is coming. Just be patient for 2 minutes. Right? It's of 3 kinds. Number 1, contaminated karmas. Contaminated karmas. Number 2, afflictions. Number 3, active seeds of the contaminated karmas and afflictions. Okay, 3. Number 1, contaminated karmas. Number 2, afflictions. Number 3, active seeds of the contaminated karmas. 3 things. Okay, now to know these 3, the details we have to study over time, the details. Just to give you some idea, say contaminated karmas. Karma simply means actions, right? Don't try to interpret karmas in your own ways, how people misunderstand it, right? Karmas, okay, now this is a very specialized class. Of course, Nalanda Master's course is much more specialized than the Nalanda Diploma course, but even this Nalanda Diploma course is a very specialized class. So therefore, we have to know the manner in which we follow these concepts like karma, rebirth, and so forth. We should not be following blindly the way otherwise you are following, where otherwise the naive, where otherwise the people follow with a great naivety. You're getting it? Make sure that you follow with the real understanding. Okay. Karma means actions. What actions? Physical, verbal, and mental actions. 3 actions. Physical, verbal, and mental. Whose actions? Your own actions. As simple as that. There's nothing esoteric about it. There's nothing, miracle, esoteric. No. Very simple. For example, say, I'm moving my hands. Meanwhile, I'm using words, verbal actions. I'm moving my hands, physical actions. Mental, I'm thinking, mental actions. As simple as that. So these, and then physically, what is the physical actions that are coming? So aggressive. Verbal actions which are so aggressive. Mental aggression, mental actions which are so aggressive. In other words, so these three actions coming out, body, speech, and mind, these three actions, physical, verbal, mental, coming out of the wrong thoughts, afflictions, physical, verbal, mental actions or karmas, coming out of the wrong motivations, wrong thoughts. These are known as contaminated karmas. As simple as that. Contaminated karmas. Then afflictions, number 2. Okay, the karmas, contaminated karmas. So we have to make a distinction between contaminated karmas and the uncontaminated karmas. Uncontaminated karmas, they are very precious. Contaminated karmas, they trap us into samsara. Right? So contaminated karmas are those physical, verbal, mental actions. So somehow driven by wrong thoughts. Driven by wrong thoughts. And of course the details we'll study later. Afflictions, number 2. What is number 2? What is number 2? Afflictions. Okay, afflictions, today I'll give you a very general presentation. Afflictions is defined as a mental factor, mental state or mental factor, the presence of which disturbs your mind. Afflictions are defined as mental factor or mental state or mental factor, the presence of which disturbs your mind. For example, the moment the anger arises in us, it disturbs your mind. The moment the attachment arises, it disturbs your mind. You getting it? Okay. Like attachment, anger, jealousy, conceit, then belligerence, and so forth, they all fall in the category of afflictions. In other words, a mental state, just the mere arising of these mental states disturbs your mind. Okay, how many of you experience that? Some mental states, they arise in you and it disturbs your mind. Raise hands. Some of you have no experience. No experience. You have experience. Okay, how many of you have no experience? Raise hands. What is disturbance? I don't know. Raise hands. Okay, we all have that experience. You're getting it? Like attachment. Okay, to give some examples, attachment, anger, hatred, jealousy, competitiveness, stinginess, and so forth. These all fall under the category of the afflictions. And the detailed study of the afflictions, say the 6 root afflictions, 20 secondary afflictions, all these we study under the Buddhist psychology. Okay, what is next? Number 3.
Active seeds of
Active seeds. Okay, active seeds. How many of you are angry now? Raise hands. How many are angry? No one. Okay, which means you're all very happy now. After the class, you go home, and then, Mom, what happened? Where's my food? All right. Then the anger comes. Like, where's my food? Right? Husband telling the wife, where's my food? Wife telling the husband, where's my food? Right? Okay. What happened? And the neighbor comes to knock at the door. Who throws the garbage next to my door? No, I did not do that. Yes, you did it. All right. Then your anger comes out. Okay, tell me where was this anger hiding when you were in Tippet house? There was no anger now, right? But after 1 hour, your neighbor will tell you, oh, who throws this garbage next to my door? You did it, right? No, I did not do it. Yes, you did it, right? No, I was in Tibet house. No, you did it. Then what do you say? Then, okay, I'll sue you, right? Then anger arises. So this anger came from where? When you're in Tibet house, no anger. This anger came from where? When you were in Tibet house, there's no anger, but the seed of the anger was very active there. A very active seed is there. Very active seed to easily germinate with anger that is still within us now. Within me, most likely within each one of us. I'm not too sure about you. I can for sure say about myself, I have it. And most likely all of us have this seed. That is the seed which has the ability to germinate into a full-fledged anger. That is known as active seed. You're getting it? Active seed. Okay. So with this, we see that these three things are known as afflictive obscurations. Then the next one is cognitive obscurations. Cognitive obscuration is the subtle smell of these. And this, we cannot discuss this now. Who is going to volunteer to ask this question? Later on, maybe after about like 4, 5, 6, 7 months later, who's going to remind me of this question as what exactly is cognitive obscurations. For the time being, at best I can give you the example of the smell of garlic. Right? Remove the solid garlic and you have the smell of garlic. Likewise, remove the afflictive obscurations and still you have the smell of the afflictive obscurations. That subtle smell, that is cognitive obscuration. For the time being, this much I can say. And then later on, after like 7, most likely I would say after the 10 month, after 10 months or after 11 months, somebody has to remind me as to what exactly is afflictive, cognitive obscurations. Okay, volunteer, raise your hands. 1, what is your name? Okay, all of us, look at those people. What is your name? Vishal. Okay, Pamela. Vinodi ji. Okay, then over there. Abhishek. Jawahar ji. Okay. Okay, any more? That's it. Okay, here Sonamla. Okay, why I'm asking these people to volunteer is because after completing the diploma course, if this question is not dealt with, I'm not responsible. These 6 people are responsible. You have to know who these people are. If possible, note their names. Note their names. In the first place, these people should be consistent. These people should last that long. Then these people should remember what the question asked 10 months ago. You're getting it? So if this question is not addressed, I'm not responsible. These 6 people are responsible. You're getting it? Did you identify what these 6 people are?
If they ask the question, then it will be addressed. If they don't ask the question...
No, you have to remind me.
If we forget to remind you, it will not be addressed.
No. Oh, yes, this is the point. If I did not address this after completing knowledge diploma. Okay, good. Okay. So this is the afflictive obscurations. Cognitive obscuration. Yeah, thank you. So for the time being, what I would say, cognitive obscuration is the subtle stain of the afflictive obscurations. That's it. You're getting it? In other words, inactive seeds. Active seeds fall under the afflictive obscurations, and the inactive seeds will fall under cognitive obscurations. Inactive seeds or the subtle stains fall under the cognitive obscurations. Okay, good. Okay, now there are many more things to be covered here. Okay. 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 Now what is the job? We have now identified what the afflictions, what the mental defilements are. There are 2 kinds. What are they? Now don't say gross, subtle. You have to go to the technicalities. Afflictive obscurations and the cognitive obscurations. What are the two goals? Okay, now be very professional. Be very professional. Don't say Buddhahood, Nirvana. Don't say PhD and BA. BA and PhD. Right? Be very professional. Nirvana and Buddhahood. You're getting it? Okay. Whereas when you go out, and then your parents, they ask you, what did you learn? We learned about afflictive obscurations, cognitive obscurations, Nirvana, Buddhahood. Then they would think that this is a pure spirituality religion. And you say that we learned about how to get as we learned about the fearlessness, or we learned about the miserylessness. We learned about the infinite happiness. We learned about the potential insight for the fearlessness, miserylessness, and for the maximum happiness, right? These are things that are well learned. Don't say Nirvana, Buddhahood, and so forth. Whereas, if the people, if you have, maybe for the, like boys and girls, you have some of your relatives who are learned geshes and kembos, right? So for them, then you can discuss, you can say, we learned about Nirvana, Buddhahood, all these things, that's fine. For the very lay audience, don't use the technical terms. Okay. Now, after learning this much, what would be your next question? What would be your next question? Quick. Yes? How to attain what? How to attain suffering?
No, Nirvana and Buddhahood.
Okay, we should be very clear. You're getting it? Don't just say how to attain. How to attain Nirvana and how to attain Buddhahood. How to remove the afflictive obscurations. And if you want to be very professional, don't even ask how to attain Nirvana. Say how to get it off. Don't jump from PhD to BA. How to remove the afflictive obscurations. How to remove afflictive obscurations means how to achieve Nirvana. You're getting it? Okay, at the moment it's very bumpy. I can see that. How to achieve, how to get rid of afflictive obscuration means how to get rid of cognitive obscurations. Okay, so how to get rid of afflictive obscuration means how to attain Nirvana. You're getting it? So they say, how can you distinguish between the people who study things very systematically and people who are just, coming randomly? The distinction is that somebody who asks, okay, now it's fine, it's just day 2, right? So after 4 or 5 months, then I would really expect you to be very professional. You're getting it? Okay, so how to attain the state of freedom, of cessation, of the afflictive obscurations, and how to get rid of the cognitive obscurations. These are 2 questions. For that, okay, we have 35 minutes. Okay, I'm thinking of doing slightly differently. Okay, so let's put it like this. Okay, happiness that we are seeking, the suffering that we want to get rid of. In other words, Nirvana that we are seeking, Buddhahood that we are seeking, is actually a mental state where, from the mind, afflictive obscurations are gone. That is known as Nirvana. From your mind, cognitive obscurations are gone. It's known as Buddhahood. Okay, so both are mental states. Both are mental states. You're getting it? Both are mental states. And these 2 are the resultant states. These 2 are what we see as attainment, what we see as achievement. And yet these 2 are mental states. Now, the causal factors, what causes these 2? Opposite of Nirvana is suffering. Good. Opposite of Nirvana is samsara. Opposite of Nirvana is samsara. You're getting it? Of course, we are in samsara, and then you remove samsara, you achieve nirvana. Opposite nirvana is samsara. You're getting it? Okay. Now, to attain nirvana, to get into afflictive obscurations, in a way, what we are saying is to get into samsara. You're getting it? To get into samsara. And samsara is a result of the afflictive, the contaminated karmas, afflictions, and the active seeds. And these three things will hover around. Okay, these three things will hover around what is known as self-grasping ignorance. In other words, let's say that the flower of poisonous flowers growing the tree, they're because of the branches. These flowers, they grow on the branches, and the branches, they grow from the main trunk, and the trunk grows from the roots. You're getting it? Okay, so these flowers are like the miseries. Poisonous flowers, they're like the miseries. They grow from the branches of the contaminated karmas. And these contaminated karmas, they arise from the trunk of the afflictions. And the inactive seeds. And these, the root is self-grasping ignorance in a very loose sense. You're getting it? In a loose sense, self-grasping ignorance. Now, self-grasping ignorance is actually an affliction. Self-grasping ignorance is not different from affliction. It is the king of the afflictions. Self-grasping ignorance is the king of the affliction. We can talk about the merchants and the chief of the merchants. Right? We speak about the ministers and the chief minister. We speak about the ministers and the prime minister. You're getting it? Prime minister, is he a minister or not? Yes, but we talk about the prime minister and his ministers. You're getting it? Likewise, self-grasping ignorance is the chief, the prime, the most important part of the afflictions. You're getting it? So when we say the contaminated karmas, afflictions, and the active seeds, all hovering around the self-grasping ignorance, means that all these somehow they are coming from the one particular affliction, the prime of the affliction, which is self-grasping ignorance. Okay. Now, the next question is, if you don't want these poisonous flowers, from the wind blowing through the poisonous flowers, and the wind hits your body, you have the skin rashes. So these skin rashes are because of the wind blowing from the poisonous flowers. So you want to get rid of the poisonous flowers. What will you do? What will you do?
Get rid of the roots of the...
Okay, some people will go to remove with the gloves, they remove the flowers, all the poisonous flowers, right? Okay, you are free for the next 1 week. And again the flowers grow. The other people say, okay, again it's a waste of time. Then you chop the trees from the top, chop the trees. Okay, for the next 2 months, for the next 4 months, you're free. Again, the new stems, new branches grow. Again, the flowers grow. Then what will you do? Hey, what will you do?
Get rid of the roots.
Then the Nalanda masters, Nalanda diploma course students come. They say that no, you have to uproot it. Right? There's no point. Right? Nalanda diploma course will uproot it. You get it? So the root, without getting rid of the root, no matter what you do, temporary relief is there. For example, say from the hell realm, animal realm, Hungry Ghost realm, we're freed, we take birth in the human realm, we take birth in the devil realm, very happy temporarily, again we go down. It's just a waste of time, right? Wise people will uproot the problem altogether. How to uproot that? How to uproot the problem altogether? By removing the self-grasping ignorance. You're getting it? By removing the self-grasping ignorance. Okay. Now my question to you. What does it mean by ignorance in the first place? I'm not going to ask you self-grasping. That requires a more technical answer. First, my question to you is, what does it mean by ignorance? Anybody? Very quick. Yes? Mike?
By not seeing things how they really are.
Okay, the mind which does not see things the way they really are.
Really are.
Wonderful, very good. Anybody else? What do you understand by ignorance? Yes?
By not responding to things.
By not?
Responding to things happening around.
Okay, somebody, okay, let's say, somebody says, you're a stupid guy, and then you don't respond, you're very calm, peaceful. This is ignorance? No. Okay. Can you give me some example? Give me an example. What do you mean by not responding things?
Like not getting overexcited, or like something wrong is happening in front of us and not reacting to it, or something good is happening.
Okay, ignorance is bliss. This is what you say?
This.
Okay, ignorance is bliss, right? Somebody's actually harming you, and you think that, okay, this is blissful, it's nice, right? This is ignorance. Wow, this is amazing. Thank you. Okay, good. Anybody else?
Lack
Yeah.
of knowledge.
Huh?
Lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge. This is also one understanding. Very good. Anybody else? Yes.
Not being aware of or having a clue that something like that exists.
Not being aware of something, not being aware that somebody is harming me, not having any clue that somebody is harming me, so therefore you live in the bliss. Ignorance is bliss. Right? Very good. Anybody else? Yes.
Partial knowledge. Partial knowledge.
Partial knowledge. Oh. Partial knowledge. Is it knowledge or not?
It's not a complete picture.
No, it's not. This is not my question. My question is it a knowledge? If I say is it a complete picture?
Depends on what you say knowledge is.
No. This is you. You use the word knowledge, and now you're blaming me. Right? What knowledge? What is your interpretation of knowledge?
So essentially, everything that exists, right? If you understand that everything, that is knowledge. Everything else is ignorance.
Every knowledge is ignorance.
So let's say we can only I've been only to Delhi, right? So I've not been to say Tibet, right? So I know that Tibet exists, but I don't know about the culture of Tibet, the kind of people who lives in Tibet.
No, which is ignorance? Tibet is ignorance. Or your
my partial knowledge of Tibet is ignorance.
Your partial knowledge
And
okay, so basically why I'm asking these questions is for us to learn how to articulate your questions. Okay, so I understand what you're saying, but we need to learn how to articulate it. Partial knowledge, is there a knowledge or not? You're getting it? We are crystallizing what the question is. Okay, any more? Yes.
Maybe he's trying to say that whatever we know, only the drop of the ocean. Ocean is, it's so much knowledge is left unknown. We are ignorant the ocean. Only the drop we know.
Okay, we know the drop. We are unaware of the remaining knowledge.
Remaining part. Yeah.
So they being not aware of the remaining knowledge. This is what he's saying. Very good. Lady over there.
Not being aware of the lack of impermanence.
Not being aware of impermanence. This is a wonderful example. Very good. Okay, so ignorance. Ignorance. What does mean by ignorance is the question. You're getting it? Okay. Ignorance, it is of two kinds. One, which distorts the reality. One which distorts the reality. The way the lady said, what's your name?
Paula.
Huh?
Paula. P-A-U-L-A. Paula.
Paula. Okay. The way Paula said that what is impermanent, you see it as permanent. You distort the reality. What is impermanent, you just distort it and see the opposite of that. That is one kind of ignorance. And number two is most of the people here said it, simply being unaware, right? Say the murkiness of your mind, murkiness of the mind, the haziness of the mind. This is also understood to be of ignorance. But the murkiness, ignorance that we are dealing here, ignorance which we are precisely dealing here, ignorance that we are dealing here is particularly the ignorance which distorts the reality. You're getting it? Okay, for example, let's say that I encounter with the effigy. Effigy meaning a fake, human body. Fake human body. I encounter the effigy and oh, there's a human being there. You're getting it? There's a human being there. Okay, this is one. On the other hand, say me and you, two of us are together. I say that there's a human being there, and you said that okay, I can't really see. It's really dark now. I can see something dark there, but I cannot decide whether it's human being or effigy. I cannot decide because I say there is a human being there, right? Okay, so which of the two is worse? The one who says that, no, I'm not too clear, I'm unaware what is there, it's very hazy, something dark there, I don't know. I don't know means ignorance. I'm saying that, no, I'm not ignorant. I know that this is the human being. Okay, is that ignorance or not? See, encounter with the effigy, and I say that very confident, I say that this is human being. Is this ignorance or not? So there is a very active state of mind. The other side, your mind, other person's mind is not active state. It's not saying that it's human being, non-human being as a human being. It's not so active, but it's very hazy. With my side, in my case, it's not that hazy, but it distorts the reality. Distorts the reality. To say that this is not effigy, this is human being, right? This distorts the reality. So the ignorance which is responsible for, say, the haziness should be somewhere as a ground for the distortion of the reality, right? So to make it very simple, ignorance here is the ignorance which distorts the reality. Keep this in mind. Okay. Now, this ignorance which distorts the reality, this ignorance, to get rid of this ignorance, what should we do? This is a very important question. Now, what we said is that to get rid of all the suffering, we have to get rid of the root of the suffering. What's the root of the suffering? Self-grasping ignorance. To get rid of the self-grasping ignorance, what should we do?
Get rid of ignorance.
How? This question. Okay, now this is a very important question. You're getting it? Now, how to get rid of this self-grasping ignorance? Okay, so first let me give a very simple example. This ignorance has two sides. This ignorance has two sides. One is the object. You're getting it? Seeing the. Okay, how many of you in your dream, you have very scary dreams? Raise hands. At least once in a lifetime. Very scary dreams. Okay, can you give me an example? Anybody? You don't want to share the secret? Anybody who likes to share your dream very quick? A very scary dream? Anybody? Yes, here?
Once before, I was trying to do something and I got this dream that I'm trying to climb steps and each step is very oiled and there are some bars I'm trying to hold on. So each step is so oily and so slithery that, I'm not able to go up. Right. And this was a dream I was having constantly before, something I was trying to do. Right.
Okay, very scary.
Not very scary.
No,
but
I asked a scary dream.
but that dream was scary for me.
No, you are more philosopher than me. You are not scared, and dream was scary for you. I don't know what's the distinction.
So yes, I was scared of what I was trying to achieve.
No, I remember that you said that it's not scary, number one. Number two, you said the dream was scary to me.
What I was trying to achieve was not scary, but in my mind, I was scared of it.
Okay, that's amazing. Object per se is not scary, but for you, it was scary. That's amazing. Thank you. Okay, my question to you is that how many of you had a scary dream? You had a scary dream or not?
That was a scary dream for me.
Very good. Okay, so you were scared.
Yes.
Very good. Okay, anybody else?
I have experienced twice or thrice sleep paralysis, where I was like scared a lot, but I couldn't move. It was like, even if I'm trying to move, I couldn't move.
Was it a dream or real?
It was dream.
I was asking, it's a dream.
It was dream.
It was in dream or it was dream?
It was dream.
You was paralyzed or not paralyzed?
Like it looked like I couldn't move my hand.
Okay, could you move your hand or not?
No.
You cannot move. So it's not dream, it's real. Okay, good. Okay, anybody? Yes, over there. Okay, the girl over there, yes.
I dreamed my mother was dying.
Okay, very scary indeed. Okay. Oh, anybody else? Very scary dream, yes. Bottom. Keep pressing it.
Yeah, I had this dream several times. It was like the whole world was flooded and everyone was dead.
Wow, that's very scary. Okay, that's really very scary. Okay, anybody else? Yes.
I've had this dream a few times. In this dream, I'm in some place that I don't know. It's in someone's house. I've never met them in real life though. I'm with them and like they've called me there to get rid of a ghost. I can see that ghost.
I see. So you're scared or not?
No, I'm not.
You're not scared. So
others
it's not
are
scary
scared,
dream.
but I'm their only hope. So I'm not scared.
Okay, it's not a scary
Yeah,
dream.
I can see it, but they can't.
No, it's not a scary dream.
It is a scary dream.
It does not scare you.
No. The later half of it gets scary.
Thank you. That's interesting. Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Shall I continue?
Wonderful.
Shall I continue?
Continue. Yes. That's
And
interesting.
The ghost looks like a dragon.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I like get rid of it.
Okay.
But then again, there's one more ghost that comes into the house and it like starts haunting again. But like, I can't see it. And the ghost one now wants to kill me.
Okay.
And like when I wake up, I'm all sweaty.
Okay. Okay, that's scary. Really very scary. Okay, good. So from this, what I'm saying is that, let's say that, okay, scary dreams, right? Okay, let's say that you and your sibling, brother or sister, you and your sister, two of you are together. And then your uncle gives you iPhone X as a gift. Are you happy, not happy? Huh? Hey, happy, not happy?
Happy.
Very happy. Can your uncle give iPhone 11 to you? What is given to you? iPhone X. You're very happy. And then uncle give another iPhone, which is iPhone 11 to your sister. You're happy, not happy?
Yes.
Your previous happiness declines. Right? What is this? Right? Our happiness changed to suffering. You're getting it? Okay, with this in mind, then uncle says, okay, now let's go to for a lunch. How many you like momos? Raise your hands. Good. Then uncle gives you a momo. Are you happy or not happy? Yes. What happy? Which is better? Right? Your sister got iPhone 11, you got iPhone 10, and you get a momo, you're very happy. But your mind can be changed very easily with the momo. No, you'll not be happy. Right? So because of your basic frame, which is more exciting, for uncle to give you momo or uncle to give you iPhone 12, iPhone 11? Which is more exciting? Of course, iPhone 11 momo is just nothing. Right? It's a temporary thing. Okay, so what I'm saying is that, say, the distortion of the reality, ignorance, it has two sides. One is what you distort and the distorted mind. What you distort is the object and the distorted mind is the subject. It involves two things, object and the subject. You're getting it? For example, let's say when you hear very sad news, for example, in my case, I lost my father in my 30s. Say, after having lost my father, of course, I was not happy, very sad, in this spirit of sadness. Then somebody invites me for a food, and somebody, they entertains me, cracks some jokes and so forth. And then they give me some presents. Still, I say the present is a good thing. And I like, for example, say philosophy, I like physics, somebody tells me about physics, quantum physics, and so forth. Okay, so basically, yeah, I'm learning something. But main framework of my mind is imbued with sadness. Subject is sadness. Object, I'm learning something new. Quantum physics, mathematics, philosophy, whatever, I'm learning something. But the main framework of my mind is sadness. You're getting it? With the sadness, even if, say the momo is your best food, then with this deep sorrow, you go to have the momo, you will not enjoy it. You're getting it? And say likewise, there's a beautiful garden there. Usually you enjoy this garden. And that time when you're very sad, deeply in sorrow, you go to the garden. Even the garden seems so gloomy. You're getting it? So the objective is the same. But with the change of the subject, the whole, the compound, the complex, the whole thing simply is very different. Right? When you're happy, you see the flower. When you're unhappy, you see the flower. It's very different. Objective is the same, but subject is different. You're getting it? Okay. Now, with the subject same, with the happy state of mind, then a good flower and a withering flower. When your mind is very happy, again, the state is, happy state of mind with the object different. You can see again two different perceptions. With the same object, two different subjects, again we see that two different perceptions. So with this, we see that ignorance has two facets, two sides. One is the object of the ignorance and the other one is the subject. So, object of the ignorance is distortion. For example, you see the gentleman over there, what's your name? Ridinla. So Ridinla, you are scared of the dream? Are you scared of the ghost or not? Scared of dream ghost. Okay. Dream ghost, you are scared, right? So there, Ridinla, why he was scared? Are you still scared now of that ghost? Still scared of it? No. Not really. Okay. Why you were scared then?
It has tried to kill me like 3-4 times.
Wow, it was to try to kill you.
In the dream.
Okay, not real.
Not really.
So it did not try to kill you.
In real?
No, it did not try to kill you, right?
No, in the dream.
It's not a ghost in the first place.
Yeah, it's not a ghost.
So therefore it did not try to kill you.
No, it didn't.
Okay, you said that it tried to kill you.
In the dream.
Okay. Okay. So what I'm saying is that then you were very scared. Now you're not scared.
No.
Why not?
I don't know.
Okay, next moment you wake up, you're not scared.
No, when I wake up, I'm scared.
Oh, you ran.
No, I'll cover myself and sleep.
Oh, thinking the ghost will come.
Yeah.
That's too much. Well, how old were you? Maybe 5 years old?
No, it keeps happening.
No, you were 5 years old?
When?
When you were 5 years old?
This dream?
Yeah.
No, a few months ago, maybe.
Now, this is how the small children do. Watch a ghost movie, they cover themselves up. Don't cover yourself, right? This is not how the young smart boy will do it. Don't cover yourself up with blanket. Okay, so what I'm saying is that when you wake up, generally speaking, with the exception of Rigdenda, generally speaking, when you wake up, wow, I'm relieved, I'm happy that this is not a real ghost. You're getting it? Okay, so the point is that in the dream you are scared because you see the dream ghost as real ghosts. So dream ghosts, you distort it to be seen as real, as the distortion of the reality object. You're getting it? Okay, so now what we are seeing now, okay, look at the other person sitting next to you. Don't be too scared of the other person because you don't know each other so well, right? Okay, I can see that who's looking at who. From that I can see who are friends, right? Who know each other so well. Okay, so what I'm saying, when you look at the other person, okay, seriously look at the other person. Why are you smiling? I did not ask you to smile. I just said look at the other person. Okay, look at the other person. Still you're always smiling. Okay, the fact that you are smiling. Did you see the other person smiling at you? Yes. Okay. Are you really confident the other person is smiling at you? Yes. Are you really confident? Yes. Okay. How can you say that what you are seeing is reality? In the dream, you said this is real ghost. When you wake up, you realize it's not real ghost. Right? You see the other person smiling now, but I'm really sure that the other person is smiling. Other person, do you agree with me that other person's face is just made of a bunch of atoms? Do you agree with me or not? Which atom is smiling? Which atom is smiling? No atom is smiling. You're getting it? If you go on the atomic level, there's nothing really smiling. And this is a fact, I'm not joking. Do you agree with me? On the atomic level, no one is smiling. On the atomic level, all the atoms, none of the atoms is smiling. But you see the other person smiling now? If you see the other person in the light of the atoms, if you still smile, okay, now look at the other person. And just see if you can see the other person's face in the light of the bunch of atoms. Okay, now don't look at the other person. Close your eyes and think of the other person that it is the face is made of, say, cells, billions of cells, and the cells are made of molecules, and the molecules are made of atoms. Okay, we gradually go to the level, gradually. Now you see a bunch of atoms. Okay, now come out of this reflection. I'm happy to see nobody smiling now. You're getting it? If you smile, it is time for you to go to mental hospital. Just seeing a bunch of atoms and you smile, which means it's time for you to mental hospital. Nobody smiled. Okay, now with this, what I'm saying is that what we are seeing now of the other person, what we are seeing now of Tibet House, what we are seeing now of the traffic, are you sure that this is really the way, this is how it really exists? The way Dana said, that in the dream, I saw the dream ghost as real. You're getting it? When you wake up, then you realize, oh, this is not real. So you saw the reality in the dream or outside dream? You saw the reality outside dream or inside dream? No, what I'm saying, in the dream, you saw the dream ghost as real. Right? When you wake up, you realize that, lucky that it's not a real ghost, it's a dream ghost. Right? You saw the reality. You saw it in the dream or outside the dream?
Outside the dream.
Very good. What you see in the dream is not the reality. It's your distortion of the reality. You're getting it? What you see in the dream is a distortion of reality. But you think that is real. In the dream, you're not saying that I'm destroying you, you are not a real ghost. You'll not say that, right? You run away. You ran away? Yeah, in the dream you ran away because you did not realize it's a dream ghost. So you see it as real. This is distortion. Now, how can you say that what you're seeing now is real? How can you say that? This question. This is a very serious question. You getting it? Is there anybody from neuroscience? Anybody from neuroscience background? Okay, never mind. Last year, in the month of May, I was in Israel for a conference on consciousness organized by a very renowned neuroscientist, and I was there as a participant for the conference, and there was a extremely senior neuroscientist. And if you ever have some friends from neuroscience background, and if the person is really thorough meaning that the person has a good exposure of the neuroscience knowledge, then this person will understand something. So this very senior neuroscientist in Israel, he told me that, okay, in Buddhism, is there any meditation whereby you can keep your mind calm, peaceful? Then knowing that he's a very renowned neuroscientist, I said, yes, they are. And then I said that what we are seeing is not reality. He said that I know that already. He said that 100% I know what I'm seeing is not reality. Things, how they come to me, come to my mind, how they appear to me, this is not reality. I know that, 100% I know that. So this is not coming from philosophy, it's coming from the neuroscience background. So neuroscience is just a play of the neurons, play of the neurotransmitters, play of the firing of the neurons at the synaptic connections, that the various thought processes arise in the form of, oh, this house there, or Tibetan house, or music, people here, discussing philosophy. These things are just a thought process coming to our mind through the activation of the firing of the neurons. And objectively, there's nothing there as, this or that. It's just what's come to our mind as a result of the neurofiring. This is what I said. I'm 100% sure. So this is not coming from his study of philosophy. It's purely coming from neuroscience. You're getting it? What I'm saying is that what we are seeing, are you sure that what is seeing is the reality? So this, from the point of view of neuroscience, what we are seeing is not the reality from the neuroscience. Then from the Buddhist philosophy point of view, this is something extremely what we are seeing is not reality. Then from the quantum physics point of view, it's not the reality. What we are seeing is very gross. It doesn't reflect the reality, according to quantum physics. You're getting it? So in a way, what I'm saying is that what we are seeing is the distortion of the reality. You're getting it? Okay. So, but don't say that now going by, mother, you are not a reality. Breakfast is not a reality. Don't say like this. You're getting it? So this is the baby step that you're taking now. It's just the baby step, kindergarten level. We have to study more, study deeper. Till that point, till you get a very good picture. Okay, what I'm seeing is not the reality. Till you really get that feeling, don't discuss too much about this, then you may lose track of your ground. It's not really safe. Okay, this is just the information given. With this, what I'm saying is that object and the subject, with the ignorance, object is distorted and the subject is hazy. You're getting it? So now, our job is what? This mind, which distorts the object, when the mind is hazy, fix the object. Fix the object from distortion, know the reality. And the mind, from the hazy state, make it very clear light. So pure, so clear light. You're getting it? So that is the perfect wisdom. So the final wisdom is the greatest the remedy to overcome the worst of the ignorance. The root is chopped. When the root is severed by this wisdom, which encompasses the subtlest, fixing the subtlest of the object, the reality, seeing the subtlest of the reality, and the subject-wise assuming the clear-light nature. Clear-light nature. Clear-light nature, that is the purest form of your mind. With this mind, the ignorance is cut. Then all the afflictions gone. Then the contaminant karma is gone. Then all the flowers, poisonous flowers, they wither. All the sufferings disappear. So that is the state of nirvana. You're getting it? That's the state of nirvana. Okay, this is just a movie trailer. You're getting it? It's just a movie trailer. Okay, now with this, for that what we need to know, how to fix the object and how to fix the mind. Fix the mind meaning how to make the mind, upgrade the mind from the hazy state to the clear-light state. You're getting it? Fix the object from distortion to seeing the reality. Okay, now with this I will complete. I will just wind it up here. Fixing the object. To know the object thoroughly, today we have physics, quantum physics, then the study of the philosophy. So these are all meant to discover the reality of the object. Then the subject, how to upgrade his mind from the very hazy state to the clear-light state. For that we need to have the psychology. You're getting it? To know the object well, we need philosophy. To know the subject well, we need the psychology. So therefore, in Buddhism, there's a tremendous emphasis on psychology and philosophy. You're getting it? Okay, so our job here, Nalanda Development Course, is to take us to study about the philosophy, to know the object well, to study psychology, to upgrade this mind from the very hazy, ignorant state to the clear-light nature. And then this clear-light nature, employ this to see the substance of the object, to cut the subtlety of the ignorance, so that all the afflictions will dissolve. Say with the iceberg in the Arctic Circle. Arctic Circle on iceberg. Oh, this iceberg, yeah, this iceberg. So what? We can build house on it. You build house on it. Like 1,000 years ago, no danger of the iceberg melting. Now, global warming, even the icebergs in the Arctic Circle, they start to melt. Right? Icebergs melt, what happened? All the buildings stack on the iceberg, they will crumble, dismantle, they will crumble. So likewise, the iceberg of ignorance, when that melts, all the buildings of the afflictions, contaminant karmas, and the suffering, they will all dismantle, they will all crumble down. So that is the state where miseries become zero. And you have the state of cessation of all sufferings. That is nirvana. So the second part is Buddhahood, infinite happiness. Okay, we'll stop here. Okay, okay, it's already 8. If you have questions, please hold them for the next session, because the people, if it is going to be too late, it may not be too good. Okay, so we'll stop here. We will do the end. Okay, Hamala, you want to do the end division prayer? Yes. Hamala, where's the page number?
So the additional dedication prayers is on the page number 288.
288, page 288. New book.
Oh, new book is on 288 and old book 278.
Old book 278, new book 288.
So we'll start. Additional dedication prayer. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. All-powerful Chandrajit Tenzin Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. Just as the brave Manjushri and Samatapatra too realize things as they are, also I dedicate all these merits in the best way that I may follow the perfect example. I dedicate these roots of virtue with a dedication praised as the best by all the Buddhas who appear in the three times, so that I may perform the noble Bodhisattva's deed. Chanjo sem chorim boche ma ke panang ke gyushi ke wanyam pa me pa ya kone kondo pelvarasho. May the Supreme Bodhicitta that has not arisen arise and grow, and may that has not arisen not diminish but increase forevermore. As long as space remains, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. Due to the merits of these virtuous actions, may I quickly attain the stage of Guru Buddha and lead all beings without exceptions into the enlightened state. I dedicate that merit thus gathered toward the realization of the deeds and the prayers of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the three times, and to the upholding of the Dharma and teaching and realization. May I in all life, through this force of this merit, never separate from the four wheels of Mahayana vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfect view, and the two stages. With the wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, until I reach full enlightenment. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativity individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddhahood in my heart. To the power of the practicing and supplying to you, may all be free from sickness, poverty, and conflicts. And may Dharma and the auspiciousness proliferate in all the places where we abide. The path of union and emptiness and compassion is lucidly explained by the protector of both the Dharma and the beings of the snowland. The lotus holder Tenzin Gyatso, we supplicate you that your wishes are fulfilled spontaneously. May the operations of evil thoughts and deeds of the negative forces of humans and non-humans who have malice to perverted prayers against the teachings of the Buddhas be totally vanquished through the power and truth of the three jewels. In all my lives, never separate from perfect Guru, may I enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the qualities of the stages in the path. May I quickly in the stage of Vajradhara. Throughout my future lifetime, guided by your Manjushri, and be able to uphold the Dharma in general and the teachings of dependent origination in particular, even at the cost of my life.
Okay. Good night.